This week's video is one that I can do in the house because it's too cold to work in the barn. And so what I'm going to do is something I've wanted to do for a while, and that is paint this little porch heater. I like it, but I don't really have anything black in the house, so I thought I would do it a lighter color. And yeah, at first I was going to do it a creamy white, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do something different. Let's see what happens with it, whether I change my mind on the color or whatever. It's in good condition. It's plugged in. I'll unplug it and I'll lay out a tarp on the floor so that I can work safely on the porch. And yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it down, of course, make sure there's no dust on it. And then I am going to give it a coat of Slick Stick. So let's see what happens. I've been looking for winter projects, and this seems like a good one. I'm just using plain water to wipe off the dust. The only products I ever use for cleaning my own furniture is mild soap and water, if I have to. There's no wax or other finish on this stove that I have to worry about removing. I'm starting out by painting the surface with Slick Stick, which is a bonding primer. I don't want a heavy coat on this because I'm planning to use chalk paints on this piece. I don't usually use tape unless I feel it's the best way to protect the surrounding finish. But I ended up putting a little bit of tape around some of the edges here that you'll see. I ended up changing my mind about painting the entire inside because there are buttons and things and instructions on there. I don't want to impede any of those. So I'm just going to go around it. Here I'm just protecting the manufacturer's emblem, but this isn't a vintage stove, it's pretty new. I'm going to end up removing the front glass because the bonding primer will stick to it. I won't have to worry about it if I just remove the glass. So I was saying yesterday that I'm going to take the glass off of the front so that I don't have to worry about it. And I went and got some screwdrivers to do that right now. I think it's plexiglass. It's glass. I'm not going to remove this pieces of glass on the side because I've already gotten my slick stick pretty close to the edge there, and any chalk paint that lands on this will easily be scraped off. But I won't have to worry about going in between all these little, you know, bits of the grating here, so that's fine. And then removing the handle just makes everything so much easier. Okay, so I have the two colors that I'm going to work with in a blend. And the light pink is Ballet Slipper, and it's a Waverly paint. The other, I have to let that fall. The other paint is another Waverly Pink Sky, so it's a little darker. It is really, 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 really hard to work at home. I find it to be totally discombobulating, and everything falls down no matter what you do. So here's the brushes. I have two inexpensive chip brushes, and then I have another brush that and two that I can blend with. So this is actually a you know, a synthetic brush, but I can blend small spots with it, I'm sure. And this, you know, this one is a, you know, a natural bristle brush as well, so no problem doing that. So let me set up my camera again so that we can start painting. I'm going to start with the top just to put a coat of paint on. And it's basically what I'm doing is just, I'm going to spray a little bit of water. This isn't the greatest sprayer, it's really cheap, but it'll do in a pinch. Yeah, I mean, I just want to, I want to put down some color. I'm going to spray the brush as well, just to kind of see what I'm getting. And hopefully I will like this color. I think everything is green nowadays, but, and I was thinking about doing it green, but I kind of changed my mind. I also plan to do some brown wax, or maybe even black wax. Or I might change my mind and actually use white wax for some details. And we'll see. And I will say, this is, I'm planning on it being a very traditional blend. So with that in mind, I'm going to start with the lighter color. I think this needs a little bit more water. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really. See if I can get some better blending with. Now, if there are a few little dust pieces and nibs, that will come off with my little bit of sanding in between. I just want to put paint down. I'm not really concerned too much with the blend right now. I'm going to let this dry.
What I'm showing here is the top after 3 coats of blended paint. So you can see the difference, and you're starting to see the depth without seeing any edges of each particular color. This paint has dried for 24 hours just to make sure that I have a good surface to put a transfer on. Although I will often use tape to create details on a piece, I didn't dare to tape the finish here because of the blended details. If the tape pulled off some of my paint, because that does happen, I'm unlikely to recreate the blend perfectly to fix it, so I opted to bite the bullet and do the details by hand. It's not perfect, but it's still better than pulling off paint with a piece of tape.
thank you for watching this week's video. I had a stove heater, I had a porch heater stove in black that I wanted to decorate and make a little bit prettier to match my porch. So I painted it with chalk paints in a blend and some detail metallic paints and gilding wax. And yeah, it came out cute. It actually took a lot longer than I thought it would because it's such a small piece, but it ended up to be so many details. It actually took me longer than I thought to do it, but it was fun. I love blending. I just think blending paints, blending colors makes things so much more in depth and it gives it so much interest with the design. I just can't help blending. It's just beautiful, I think. And it's very subtle. You can't see it a lot. A little bit of dark brown shading wax on it helps a little bit more too. So it has a lot of interest. I like this little stove, and it's perfect for my little porch. So stay tuned for some additional close-up pictures. And thank you again for watching. I want you to have a great rest of your weekend, and I wish you all good and beautiful things. Take care.